Previously on Double Stuff.
Oh.
This week on Double Stuff.
Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm David.
For 15 years, we've been eating Oreos together.
And today we're going to eat them with you.
Some flavors are wild.
Some are concerning.
And some
are an absolute revelation. Join us.
Double stuff.
Double stuff.
The finish.
I'm just hitting the finish now.
The finish. You know, the nose and the immediate was one thing, but the finish.
I'm gonna stew in this for a while. I fuck with this.
Yeah.
I like this Oreo. Everyone's eyes look a little dead.
No. Only insofar as I feel like at least days were taken off my life just now.
We're gonna do this again.
I might actually be with you. There's a world in which I like that more than a standard Oreo.
I feel capitalistically I'm being sold a fantasy that somehow this Oreo is more authentic.
More authentic than the original Oreo?
Yeah.
Interesting. By it having this kind of dairy thing where it's like, this came from a cow, this came from the world, from the
We
earth.
haven't cleaned this up.
Yeah, right. This is not some plastic product.
This is actually even before it gets processed into whatever the cream is. It's this.
Yeah. This is like the cream without its claws filed off.
Sure, yeah.
Unpasteurized.
Yes.
Yes.
It's nuanced, right? When I
Definitely.
first took a bite of it, I was even a little worried. I was like, the chocolate here is pretty overpowering. Do I even taste anything all that different? But then little sour hits you.
It built quite surprisingly. As I was chewing, the cheese made itself known. I thought surprisingly known.
Yeah.
More known than I was expecting. I definitely ate a cheese Oreo just now.
Yeah. That would go with grapes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
You could put that on a charcuterie board.
Call Teo Yang and tell him to go fuck himself. David, do you feel like maybe the Chinese Oreo flavor spectrum is designed to go together? To be like, here's the cheese Oreo, here's the peach grape Oreo, here's the peach oolong tea Oreo, here's berries. You could have these all together on a plate and happily charcuterie board your own Oreo.
Wow.
Because you said that, and I was like, there is a grape.
There's a theme.
A very nice aromatic grapish Oreo.
It's funny because on the one hand, I do think they're less all over the place than we are. I think that like the debasement is just, throwing darts everywhere and they'll just make
the
whatever.
American debasement is high.
Yeah, they're just going nuts. God bless them for it. I think they're more mindful about the choices that they're making and that the sort of spectrum is a little bit more zoomed in.
Yeah.
That said, I do think that in terms of pairing this with an actual grape, something that's like, juicy would be more effective than necessarily pairing it with one of the like grape leaning Oreos, because then you're still dealing with the cookie. I think it's interesting to me that the cheese component of that is close enough to cheese that pairing makes a lot of sense. Alex, to your point, it's cream based. I guess I didn't expect them to get this close. It is closer to really tasting like cheese than I expected, to be honest.
A young cheese.
Yes. Yeah.
Like a
fresh out of school, bright-eyed.
Whole future ahead of it.
Barely legal.
Cat Stevens wrote a whole song about this cheese.
almost like a cream cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it sort of does answer the paddle thing. Because we did not, in fact, get a free paddle with it, which I was sort of hoping for.
Right.
I'm just trying to think of how to describe whatever is going on in the subtle experience of this. Mm-hmm. It has a kind of adulthood quality to me where the bitterness and the sweetness are constantly fused.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Totally.
Allow me to just spin a little yarn about like how I would just, because I'm trying to think of what it is. Okay, if you have something going on in your life and then you go to a party with people that you really enjoy, and there's sort of the experience of being at the party where you forget your troubles for a while and you're at the party and you're in the experience of the party, but then at a certain point you're off by yourself or there's a lull and the trouble bubbles back up again and you're feeling it intermixed with the joy of being at the party. That's sort of how I experienced the cheese flavor.
Like it's just a little bit upsetting.
It's a little bit disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like a cookie with a hint of barf.
I think that lingering nasty is actually what makes it great for me. It's Marilyn Monroe's mole, you know what I mean? This sour that's still on my tongue.
I know, I was literally about to say
it's still there.
Yeah, I'm experiencing it right now.
Is a real pleasure, like, in a way.
It's getting worse.
It is getting worse. It's getting stronger.
Worse or better?
It makes it real.
Most of these cookies, especially the US ones, they're aiming for triple overtime guilty pleasure satisfaction. Mm-hmm. It's like double chocolate with chocolate chunks and peanut butter swirl. It's just trying to be as sweet and candy and like dessert. This one's like, this is cheese. Like,
hey,
if you like cheese, then hopefully you fuck with this.
Yeah.
This is going to taste like cheese, and it's going to have an arc to it, and you're going to be sitting in that flavor for a while, and that's going to be up to whether or not this is an experience that you like, as opposed to basically being like, please like me. And like, listen, we love a lot of those.
Oh, I love a
yeah, like Dunkin' Donuts Mocha is our Hall of Fame, and that thing is just like, I mean, it's just there to be amazing. But this one's kind of here to challenge you, which I'm down with.
As an adult, I think we crave experiences that feel like they challenge us a little bit in that way. To your point, the other analogy that I would make is, you know, like after a damp day where you might scratch your testicles and then smell your fingers.
Oh, yeah,
There's
totally.
a little bit of that.
Let's do
It's
it.
like
Let's
that.
all do it.
That's a different podcast.
That experience that you described, I feel like influenced the smell technicians on this cookie.
Yeah.
We're all just sitting around being like,
It's a little bit of like a dirty pleasure.
No, look, I'll do it right now.
that's the craziest angle you could go from.
These Oreos funky.
The other part of this that I think is interesting to talk about, and I wish that I had done this prep in advance of the pod. Has anyone here had the Kraft mac and cheese ice cream?
The what?
I have not had it, so I can't speak to it. I assume that they are leaning into that cheesy in a childhood desserty way, whereas I think this is specifically aiming for a slightly more like subtle, actual grounded cheese, as opposed to like bright orange cheese substitute.
Yeah.
I think that this is the one that is worth having a lot of conversation about, where it's like, oh, it tastes orange. It's like, what's the point?
Right.
Whereas like this has that actual cheese taste to it, which is interesting. It's not how we probably would have done it here if this was an American.
Oh my God,
variant.
we wouldn't have gotten anywhere close to this level of like smooth or interesting. It would have been
Like
Right,
the build
right,
and
right.
the
The nuance.
sledgehammer of cheesy flavor. And they probably would have whiffed it. This is the other thing that I think American Oreos do a lot, which is they aim as high as they can. And they often miss.
The higher they aim, when they
Bigger
aim
they miss.
medium, they're pretty great.
Yeah.
But as you reach a certain point where it's like, this might be too high of an altitude for you guys.
Yeah, I would have thought that this would have been too high of an altitude, but it's not. They stick it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Cheese is an interesting direction insofar as it's close to what we have with Oreos already. So in a way, it's like not a giant reach.
Sure.
It's a neighbor of Oreo, which makes it in some ways like harder to market because to your point, it's not Las Vegas fireworks spectacular Oreo.
Yeah.
It's cheese.
It's just cheese.
If you were to pitch more Oreos that were this close, and as close as cheese is, what would they be?
As we are eating this Oreo, they are releasing the Reese's Oreo collab.
That makes sense.
And Reese's peanut butter filling, the peanut butter filling is going inside of an Oreo sandwich,
That
going
makes
inside the
sense.
wafers.
Do you know, is it just the filling or is it mixed with Oreo cream?
As we've established, I do no research and know nothing.
Fair point, you did say that.
And I will not taste them until we record.
Yeah, no, it's
so
also fair.
I have no idea. The picture makes it look like it's just the Reese's peanut butter, but I also find that hard to believe.
Sure. We've been sitting with this taste for a minute. Are you all excited to eat another one? Are you dreading it? Where is this falling for you?
How you feeling?
Well, the thing that happens to me when I now eat an Oreo, period, where I'm just like, what the actual fuck just happened? It's hard for me to parse whether that's I want more or less.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
I have two wolves in me.
One of them is now an Oreo.
Yeah.
From my personal perspective, this is one of the only times where I can tangibly remember being jealous of what you're about to do, David. I want to try this as a double stuff pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, because
those are the rules.
Because I'm a man of honor.
This is a society.
Yeah, God damn it. But I am a little jealous of you.
Okay. All right, Sam.
I'm excited about it in the way that like you get spanked and you want to get spanked again. Like it hurts, and I feel like in order to really know how it hurts, to understand how it hurts, I want to get hurt again.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
I feel like I'm repeating a little bit of trauma. I'm like in a trauma pattern.
Well, and like, is this a kink or was this just like a dalliance?
Exactly.
Yeah.
One night stand or something that's going to affect me for a while.
Well, we know how we eat our Oreos.
Sure.
How do you guys want them?
Oh, I'm going to do a twist and cream first.
Do you want milk?
I'm curious.
I'll get you a glass of milk.
Really?
Alexander?
I don't
We're in
need
my
milk.
house.
Do you have cheese in your fridge?
Yes.
I am interested to do an experiment.
You want to
Oh,
know?
fascinating.
You want to eat the Oreo and then eat a piece of cheese after? Is that the idea?
Yeah, I want to involve an actual piece of cheese in a little test.
Great. Let me see what I've got. Give me a minute. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
I forgot that I was about to double stuff this.
And you feel
I am concerned.
it's going to be a wallop.
Yeah.
You wanted to be walloped.
I did, but I feel like I was as walloped as I was hoping to be by the climax of a single stuff. And based on what the double stuff process has done for other flavors that were nothing like this could be quite something.
What has it?
Sometimes it does almost nothing. The ones that are already close to crossing the line and whether the flavor is working, whether it's kind of good or bad, the double stuffs can be pretty brutal. There have been ones where it's like, this worked, but I just barely cleared it.
Yeah.
And then the double stuff is like, this is overwhelming in a bad way.
Yeah.
The thins are actually maybe the best example of that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, the cream in the thins is very well served by being minimal.
Yeah.
One of the things that Max and I talk about a lot, restraint plays a really good role
interesting.
in the best US Oreos. Every once in a while, they'll go as big as they can go, and it's good in that childhood dare kind of way.
Yeah.
I am daunted by the double stuff of the cheese. I will say it might be too much.
Oh, wow.
What have you got here, Max? What'd you find in the pantry?
And the fork.
So as it turns out, I had more cheeses than I thought. I have put together a quite literal cheese plate for Sam, which involves ricotta cheese, feta cheese, pepper jack, cheddar, and the most classic childhood cheese, or maybe the second most classic, Laughing Cow.
Solid.
Wow.
Which is a real throwback.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it turns out that it's a real blessing having a partner who not only knows how to make food, which is the reason we have ricotta and feta in our home, but also having an infant child, which is the reason we have the cheddar and the Laughing Cow.
Incredible. This is going to be brilliant.
So I leave you to your own devices on what you want to do, whatever this great experiment is going to be. And also a glass of whole milk.
What I was thinking is like, I'm going to have just the cream with one side, but with the other side, I'm going to try like a few dips to see how it compares.
Oh, you're going to use the other side like a little dip and stick?
Yeah.
That's
try
fucking
some
awesome.
That's pretty great. I'm here for it. I'm excited. You're going to try multiple cheeses? Or are you picking one?
I'll try the young cheeses primarily. Like, I don't think that the cheddar and the pepper jack are going to compare.
I think it's unlikely. Your Laughing Cow,
Yeah.
your ricotta are good bets. Feta, I think, will be very briny by comparison.
Yeah. I think that's right.
Alexander?
I'm probably just doing it all at once.
Solidarity, brothers.
It's a strong pick. So I'm double stuffing, huh?
Yeah, you sure are. I don't know why this is such a bummer for you. I'd be so excited. Because the other thing we haven't mentioned is that since they're Chinese Oreos, non-standard flavors come in a non-double stuff amount. This is a regular Oreo amount of cream. American special flavors come in a double stuff amount of cream.
Oh. So have you been double stuffing double stuffs?
I've been known to.
You've been quadruple stuffing?
Indeed.
The boy stuffs. The man stuffs. He stuffs.
I'm capable of quite a stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a lot. He eats a lot of cream.
I don't actually eat a lot of Oreos outside of the show anymore.
Not anymore. Why would you need to?
Though I have been delighted by the number of listeners, including my wife, who have been moved to buy a packet of Oreos after finishing an episode of the show. So if you listening to this right now are feeling that way, that's great. We are sorry that the cheese is so hard to come by. Get out there, see where you can find it. It is in the world.
There are specialty stores. There's the internet. You can buy it on the internet.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Michigan, in which case you should go to the candy store whose name I forgot.
Oh,
Perfect.
It's a little plug. It helps no one.
The double stuffing, it reminds me, do you remember when you had this club that in order to get into it, everybody had to drink an insane amount of a certain drink? You could choose.
I do remember, yeah.
Yeah.
Distinctly, I was
Because
there.
I chose grenadine, which is like what goes in a Shirley Temple.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You're
Yeah,
accustomed to having like a splash.
And it was a pint. You had to drink a full
Yeah,
pint.
I drank an entire bottle. You know,
God.
that was the feeling.
I can imagine.
Coursing through your veins, you know, like it's not your body as a temple, your body is a Shirley Temple.
Oh my God.
I mean, someone did tartar sauce.
Oh,
Yeah.
Garrett
yeah.
Solomon.
God.
He's the most powerful man I've ever met.
Was tartar sauce the
This is like-
gnarliest that anybody...
That was the gnarliest thing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
anyone
yeah.
ever did.
Now, if you had tartar sauce on an Oreo, you'd need like a shrimp cookie to work.
Interesting.
You
Or
would.
like fried cod.
Yeah.
We want to challenge Nabisco to get a little bit more creative with the cookie variations.
Sure.
Because they are really not very big on playing in that area. And I
Got
think
it.
it's an area with a lot of potential.
Sure.
They really love to stick to their classic or vanilla cookie.
Well, this is our theory that the cream is the lost leader.
Yeah, no, there you go. Yeah.
The cookie can't change.
We can print these fuckers all day long.
Yeah.
So when they made the churro Oreo, they claimed that it was a fried dough flavored cookie. And nope. Like, not really. I would say that would go great with a tartar sauce filling
Sure.
if it tasted like what it claimed to be,
Sure.
which it didn't.
Sure.
Let's do this. I'm sniff it again. It's crazy. It makes me really happy. Do I like sweet cheese? Is that just my, like, I love a cannoli.
I mean, the cannoli call
Cannoli's
is
a good call.
really dead on.
We're doing another cheers. You want to clink it?
Oh,
Sam's
sorry.
already wetted
Sorry, I
his
was like,
No,
palate.
it's fine.
No.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
I'll tell you something. Eating just the cream is different.
Is it like stronger? Like cheesy?
Like meaningfully stronger.
Wow. I agree. So cool. Wow.
Oh my God.
It has so much more in common with the red thing you were mentioning.
Yeah.
What are those called?
Handy snacks.
Handy
Oh,
snacks?
handy
Thank you,
snacks.
producer Will.
Like if
So
someone took that cheese and added sugar. Mm-hmm. That's what that tastes like.
David is reeling. You okay, man?
So what happened for me was that last time it started subtle and then it built. And then at the apex of the build, it was like, whoa, this just starts there.
Uh-huh.
Immediately, you're at an 11 of cheese.
Wow.
And you just are there until you're done eating.
Wow.
I would not say it's better, not entirely unpleasant.
Wow.
The thing that I was most concerned about was that this was going to careen over the edge into disgusting. That was more extreme than my preference, but in some ways it's kind of reaffirming what's good about the cookie.
When I looked over at you, your hair was like blowing back like this was like a Magnavox commercial or
It's a
something.
lot.
You know, and I was like, and I expected it to end and for you to like come down and like all your hair had a streak of white in it and you like suddenly had powers.
Cheese streak.
But yeah, but I love that this is from a positive place. I was worried.
Sometimes the reason that some of these things have been gross is when the flavor's not great, but also cream is not a native format for the thing you're tasting. Swedish fish, it's not a cream. So when you have a Swedish fish Oreo, which already didn't taste good, and then it's creamy, it's like everything about this is wrong. Cheese, this is not so far away from its native state, which I actually think is a pretty good segue into what Sam is experiencing. How is this working when you're dealing with the real deal?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of which,
Luxuriating with your
speaking of which, Oreo and ricotta, fucking incredible.
Oh,
That
really?
like is a cannoli.
Oh, I mean, beautiful. In my head, this was going to go better or worse than that.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Sam is on his cheese flavor journey. I'm going to let you do that for a minute. It's really a joy.
Find
But
more findings.
Before
Yes,
we
this is great
get to
stuff.
the end of your scientific exploration, Alexander, I want to talk to you a little bit about your experience here because I have my feelings about it, but I want to hear from you before I chime in.
Okay, before we tried it at all, your brain doesn't even know what it's looking for. So you just go in, and then we all had that moment of the taste on the tongue that remained.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, the linger.
Once you've had that experience, like when you go into the second one, your brain knows what's going to stand out about it.
Totally.
Right.
You know?
It's all about comparison at that point, right?
Yeah, in some ways, you can only wake up once.
There's something about when you smell flowers, like your brain gets used to the smell so quickly that it's harder to smell them a second time.
Because your brain makes it into
But like a month later, it won't.
shorthand.
Oh, yeah, correct.
But now that I've had 2 of these and my brain is like, okay, I know what this is, I feel like some part of me is going to be tasting this the rest of my life.
I will say to that point, and this is going to sound grosser than I intended to, it does also share the quality that you get with boxed mac and cheese, where the flavor is hanging out in my teeth. That slightly odd, removed from the initial experience, bit of sourness is lingering, and now it's double lingering for me.
We talk a lot about Oreo aftertastes and how things kind of flow and ebb, but this is the only time, minutes later, I'm still tasting the sourness from this cheese. And like, I'm actively pushing at the crevices and recesses of my teeth to be like, where are you, little guy?
I'm hiding from you.
Yeah, like it's like little gorilla squads like hiding in the jungles of my mouth, being like, we are the trees.
I feel like maybe there were 1 or 2 where the aftertaste was longer, but it was only the bad version. It was like, this is terrible and I can't get it out of my mouth.
Yeah.
This is interesting because the aftertaste goes back to being subtle, which with the double stuff, a bit of a blessing.
One thing that this aftertaste does to me, and I don't know if this is doing this to you guys because Oreos aren't quite as much of a piece of your day in, day out. It feels like I'm coming down off something, and it's like, you know what would get rid of this aftertaste? Another Oreo.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And I'm like, yeah, I should have another to like get back to that cheese high that I was having.
There's some snacky science behind that I've heard about before, which is like how they get you to consume more by giving you an experience where the come down is you start to crave another because you're almost looking to get a flavor out of your mouth.
Yeah, you want to reset.
Yeah.
If I were the head of Nabisco,
Yeah.
and I lived at the 200th floor, I would absolutely be mandating that everyone create as an addictive a system as I possibly could, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can rely on an Oreo to be the bomb and everyone wants them. But if you can also make them chemically induce desire,
Oh, for sure.
then we're in the money, baby.
Yeah. It's the same reason why social media platforms use the endless scroll.
Because it's salty?
Because it's salty. Yeah.
Producer Will, thoughts?
I think my expectations were changed by witnessing what you all went through.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I was prepared for an extreme flavor, an extreme sour.
No.
Not at
I
all.
found it somewhat muted.
Yeah. It's a mild guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like a wallop.
I liked it quite a bit, though. I would prefer this to a regular Oreo.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
That's just fucking awesome to me.
That's why we do this.
Pleased by that.
Yeah.
That's such a joy to be like, cheese fucking Oreo cheese
Better
is
than
out
the OG.
here like hooking fans
Yeah.
in. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I will say having just the filling was eye-opening because
expand on that.
because it is the piece of this that's markedly different. It's so clearly not the same as Oreo filling.
Yeah.
And it does share so much in common with like artificial cheese that we're used to having in other products, but it is better than that. There's something about it that tastes more natural than that.
I totally get that. Yeah. I think that in that it's not an American product, it's not jamming the button the way that we tend to, or it's about overshooting.
I wanted the cheese because I wanted to go to the other end of the spectrum. Because if it's like, this is what we're used to in Oreos, and here's an Oreo with cheese, where does this land? I think that our cheese Oreos have the most in common with Laughing Cow.
That was my guess.
Yeah. I thought that might be true. So we know it tastes the most like the Laughing Cow, but earlier you did say that a chocolate cracker and ricotta.
Oh, baby.
Tell me.
baby. That was very good.
That brings me a lot of joy, but it's also something I'm afraid of.
Sure.
I wouldn't say I have an addictive personality.
Sure.
But I revel in things that are bad for me. I like vice.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that could be a problem. I told you this house is fucking overflowing with Oreos, dude. It's dummy full of Oreos.
Though it is funny that we have had several experiences, both of us, where people are at our houses and they're like, "Oh, can we eat those Oreos?" No, those are work Oreos.
We're deducting. We're deducting this from our taxes. Actually,
You fucking joke about it.
Are you afraid you're gonna make homemade chocolate cookies with ricotta and we're never gonna see you again?
I don't think you're never going to see me again. I think you will see me.
We'll
but
see
I
you,
will,
but you'll be changed.
I will be changed. I think that's exactly what it is. So there's two stories that come to mind immediately. Not mine, thank God. One is when Stephen King relapsed into alcoholism, the way that his wife found out was that they were going through mouthwash at an insane rate. Because he was drinking the mouthwash in order to get drunk. Because it has alcohol in it, which is a pretty crazy thing to do.
yeah,
But
it's very dark.
my feeling would be that my wife would be like, "Where's all the ricotta cheese?"
Tubs of ricotta
She's
going
like,
missing.
"We're going through a gallon of ricotta cheese a week. What's happening here?" I'd be like, "I don't know. It must be the dog." As I'm like vomiting ricotta out, like I'm like Invader Zim. I'm like, more ricotta means more human. So I think that's like version 1. Version 2, and I can't remember exactly who this was, but there was a high-level executive at a bank. I'm going to make up a bank, Citibank. I'm pretty sure it was them. If it wasn't, we'll bleep it. But a high-level executive got busted by the NYPD in her like penthouse top floor apartment, and it turns out she had built a meth lab in the apartment because she was a meth addict and her dealer had gotten pinched and she didn't know how to get meth from
she
anyone else because
decided
she
to make
was
it
a
herself.
bajillionaire. So she just built her own meth lab
Sure.
so that she could stay awake all the time and do banking.
Very proactive.
Very proactive, very like high level thinking. That's the other fear here is that I'll be like, I don't have time to go to the store and buy Oreos and twist them apart to dip into my cheese.
Yeah.
I'm going to build an Oreo factory and I would
Sure.
just be like cranking them out, pressing the wafers.
I mean,
Which we know are cheap to make.
something that occurs to me sitting here doing this podcast, which I'm sure has occurred to the two of you, is that if we are all willing to sit around and have this conversation, you know that with a size company like Nabisco, there are people whose job it is to run these experiments and have these conversations.
I
And
would
I'd be-
literally kill to be them.
I would be so curious who those people are and to talk to them.
Yeah, no, we've talked about that a bit. We've also talked about how that must differ for the different regional markets.
Yeah.
There's going to be stuff that I'm sure they would have in common, but then there's stuff where clearly the goals are just different.
Yeah.
So the next step here, we're only halfway through.
Per the rules.
Will is crying. Poor producer Will is like, fucking just end it. Just end it. End me. Let this fucking stop. So the next step, we're going to ask for a little bit of introspection here, is we have a 2-step rating process, like we have a 2-step eating process.
Yeah.
The first step, how many of these would you eat in a sitting?
Yeah.
And I think it's important to note, it can be a low number without being a damning statement about your enjoyment of the Oreos.
Yeah, we're going to ask you why.
It's not like, well, I loved it the most, so I'd eat a whole box. Sometimes it's like, I loved it because I'd only want a couple of them. The final score is a score. The first one, there's a why behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The second one is a number rating between 1 and 10. No halves.
Got it. The rating system would be out of Oreos. Best tasting Oreo 10 or flavors on planet Earth.
This is very good. Okay,
Oh.
so we are
Whoa.
we are confined to the Oreo genre. It is
Sure.
in relation to other Oreos.
Yeah.
Sure.
That being said, and everybody has their own version of this, so this is escape the rules. Now it's free form. It's like jazz.
Yeah.
There is the question of, and this is how I usually go about doing this, how effective were they at capturing the flavor they set out to capture? If they were very effective or not, how much would that motivate me to want to eat these? Because occasionally we've had a situation where we're like, man, this tastes great. It tastes nothing like the thing they set out to do. And you have to figure out how much are you docking them for making a good tasting cookie that failed at the prompt.
Yeah.
Versus the idea of something where it's like, wow, they nailed that. What a terrible idea this cookie was.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes you got to give them points for ambition, but also you never want to eat the shit again.
Do
you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
You got to.
I don't owe anybody fucking anything.
We want them to be
Nobody
ambitious.
pays for this.
This
We
is,
don't
If
make
there's
money
3
here.
standard Oreo flavors, this podcast dies. Ambition is the lifeblood of this podcast.
I guess that's
You could argue that innovation is the lifeblood of this planet.
One could do so.
So take a moment to yourselves.
I mean, I totally think I have my answer.
I've had a number, I think, since I took the first bite.
Wow.
I think so.
First
and
smell?
I've stuck to it.
Or first
no,
bite?
Off smell, you never know. Smell is...
Can be
It's
misleading.
a foxy minx. Yeah. It'll take you places. It'll bait and switch you. It'll rob you in an alley. So we're gonna start with how many you eat. We're all gonna say how many we would eat. Then we're gonna go to numbers. Great. Alexander, how many of these would you eat?
1.
Awesome.
3 to 5.
I was also thinking 3.
I would eat 1 sleeve. I would eat 10.
Nice.
All right. 1? Why 1? You're a man who's eaten 50 Oreos in his life. Okay.
51.
52.
The only reason I'm eating this at all is more from a sense of what are the experiences to be had on this earth.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what a Chinese-made cheese Oreo tastes like, because that seems outlandish. Yeah. Now I know what it's like. I don't eat it anymore. If I loved it, I would probably eat 2. That's my style.
In one sitting?
Yeah.
Or do you think you would be like, I'm going to eat 1 and I'm going to come back in 5 years?
No, I could eat 2 in one sitting if I really enjoyed it.
Interesting.
That would be like, wow, he loved that cookie.
Yeah.
He ate 2.
I love that. That's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Knowing me, this is on a party platter and I'm like at a game night with a group of friends. I'm eating 2 and later in the night I'm going like, what's 1 more? And then a little later in the night I'm going, what's 1 more? And I'm trying to fill up on the veggies and hummus so that I don't eat more of the Oreos. You know what I mean? There is totally an Oreo out there that'd be more nuclear than this for me. Would I ever get up to a sleeve? Probably not, unless it's the best Oreo I've ever had in my life.
A lot of sugar.
I've got a little bit more willpower than that.
We don't know what that is.
Sorry.
We're unfamiliar with the concept.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Who is willpower?
He produces the show.
I will say I'd have a harder time resisting them than a standard Oreo.
I mean, that's a glowing review.
Yeah, that's a real stellar. Yeah. That's great. And I mean, who'd have thunk when we were just looking at the packaging that was even on the table?
I thought these were going to be a fiasco.
Yeah, I was worried it was going to be boring. Fiasco was like way down the list. So I'm delighted. I think that's great.
All right, David, thoughts?
I'm going with 3 from the standpoint that I do think this is not something that gets better by continuing to aggregate it. I think you have the first one and it's kind of eye-opening and unique and interesting, which would motivate a second. The double stuff was not the preferred format, and I think that kind of brought me to the end of the road for it. But I think that if I had a second one with the normal proportions, I could be like, all right, I'm going to have 1 more to close it out, because I'm surprised at how well it works, but it's not a munching dessert for me. These are good because they're unconventional and kind of challenging.
For me, it feels like a bottomless pit to me for a couple reasons. 1, smooth, pretty like mild flavor all in all, like not an overwhelmingly like sugary saccharine experience. So I could just be like, chugga. That helps a lot. 2, tastes good, happy about it. 3, has that weird evil addiction thing. I don't know if I would bottomless pit fast. I don't know if I'd be like, hop, 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 hop. But I would be like, I'm eating one of these, and 60 seconds later, or 2 minutes later, I'd be like, I have a funny sour taste in my mouth. I want to feel an Oreo. And I would just do that. And in a period of an hour or 2, if I was watching a movie or hanging out at game night, they'd be gone. Also, in what Alexander and I did by eating just the whole Oreo and not going hard on the cheese, it does not increase the cheese flavor. I didn't feel like second cookie added to first cookie. It was same baseline. We've had Oreos where it's like the second one was too much because I had the first one.
Totally.
This doesn't have that problem.
Yeah.
You could mainline these for a while.
I understand, because I think these are better than any of us expected them to be.
Yeah.
Entirely. All right.
Rating.
Numbers. Give me your numbers. Alexander, what you got?
7.
Yeah, that was my number 2. And I was trying to debate whether or not I feel pressured up because of the context. Because I was like, what would I rate an Oreo at? And I think the truth is probably like a 5 or a 6.
Okay, great.
So compared to that, I do think it's a 6 or a 7, and I'm going to say 7.
All right.
It's really funny. I, in my brain, started at a 6, and the more I sat with it, it went up to 7. I really admire this, but it's not my favorite flavor. It's just so crazy that it works as well as it does. And as I was sitting there, I was like, I like it more than 6. I think that says more about what I enjoy in dessert for the most part, but it's a highly respected 7.
Yeah.
Because the restraint is what makes it good, but it's also what holds it back from being a top of my list one.
I think it's an 8 for me. And it's interesting thinking about this in what everyone's talked about, in how much we are inclined to compare this to the original Oreo.
Yeah.
You're going to make whatever, Flamin' Hot Cheeto Oreo, right? no one's going to be like, well, compared to the original Oreo, you're going to be like, that thing is its own thing, right?
Yeah.
It exists in its own space, and I cannot really connect it to other things in my brain easily. This is very analogous. Like, it's very connected to the original Oreo.
Yeah.
They are kissing cousins. They're really right there. We're not connecting this to the pantheon of Oreos as much. We're not letting it sit on its own as much. For me, it is. I think an original Oreo is an 8. I think this is about as good as an original Oreo. That puts me at an 8 for this guy, which is a weird thing to do. Be like, compare it to one thing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you need a baseline. Different for the two of you because you've been reviewing so many other Oreos. I mean, how high have the ratings gotten?
We've hit a 10.
A 10. The double stuff Oreo is a 10 for us. But we've dealt in 10s and 8s and stuff like that.
I don't think we hit a second 10 on pod yet.
There is only one other 10 in my memory ever.
Yeah, which was not on the show.
No, not on the show. We've gotten as low as, I think, a 3. We have a pretty broad understanding.
Broad spectrum. I'll say I think the Oreo and ricotta is probably like 8, 9.
Do not tell me this kind of stuff. I think 7, 8 zone, that speaks very highly of this. This is a good cookie.
Yeah.
I was really thinking we were going to land more around 4s before we opened the package.
I think the reason I gave it a 7, which to me is pretty high.
Yeah.
One is none of us were disappointed whatsoever. We got crazy excited about the box, and then it delivered whatever that was, you know?
Totally.
But the other reason to me is there's so much about this that none of us actually have words for.
Yeah.
What is this? You know, what just happened? What is the flavor? What do we even call this?
We've been throwing around words like toe and sour and...
There's one word that I think we've thrown around a fair bit.
Sure.
After you.
It's funky.
Yeah, like...
This Oreo funky.
This Oreo funky.
That it defies language in so many different ways, to me, is the nature of its victory.
Yeah. It's poetry. We can only talk around it.
Right.
In
You can
the
only
empty
point your
space,
finger
the
at
negative
the moon.
space.
Yeah. Well, and something that's
the moon
really beautiful about that metaphor is that it relates to all of our relationships with each other in this sort of intangible way in which we're all connected by history that we would struggle even to articulate. There is something ephemeral about the bonds here.
Yeah. I do feel it. Another piece of why we started this whole stupid project was there is a deep, unknowable love and connection.
Yeah.
And having something to celebrate with people that you have that love and connection with is so nice. Even if that thing is silly and stupid, which this definitively is.
Preferably.
For the best.
Ideally.
No, it should have almost as low stakes as it possibly can. Then you're back at the party enjoying yourself, right? And there is nothing bubbling up under the surface to remind you of the ills of the world.
No, you're just strengthening the bond with the most absurd thing that you can think of, which is a really good combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
This has been such a joy. This has been such an absolute treat for us. This is amazing.
What a treat.
It's just the frickin'
My
best.
pleasure.
Oh, I do have one more question before we sign off. Sam, where are we from? Thank you, listeners. It's a real joy to be here with you.
See you next time.
Bye-bye. See you at 30.